they dragged him forwards in chains, cold iron made warm by the spill of his blood. He was naked, but for the tattered rags serving as a loincloth. His torso reddened almost black by the aquillas branded into his skin. His feet were agony from being forced to walk across broken glass, his limbs slick from the endless trials of sufferance. Aaron Hess, former preacher of the cult Ministorum, knew that he was doomed. The gen-hanced brute serving as his jailer flung Hess to the ground, cracking his knees against the hard stone. The jailer shuffled back, huffing like a rabid grox, disappearing into the shadows cast by statues and columns from 1,000 candles. Hess had never seen the face behind the pointed black hood, but he was well acquainted with the madman's crazed eyes, straining and bloodshot, gleaming with every infliction of the torturer's craft. Hess kept his head down, trying and failing to stop himself from sobbing. Fat tears splattered against the floor, thinning the red of blood draining across the stone. The candle light on his back was scalding, their luminescence magnified through cunning lenses to form a judgmental spotlight upon his flesh. The preacher did not dare raise his head, but he knew where he was. The Condemnatorium, a circular amphitheatre half lit by candles and haunted by the shadows of gargoyles, columns, and crumbling saints. He was in the pit, kneeling before the bench of judgment, a raised, spiked pulpit from which the condemner would pass their sentence. He heard the whir of floating cherubim. Anti-grav propulsors strained to hold aloft the vat-grown, augmented flesh of pudgy children. Their artificially young voices babbled hymnals to the god Emperor of Terror, their overlapping chorus a buzzing hive of swarming insects.
Are they?
Hess murmured, and trembled.
Aaron Hess!
A woman spoke. Her voice was authoritative and clear, puncturing the buzz of the cherubim and bringing a hush across the amphitheatre.
You are Aaron Hess, correct? Servant of his Holy Adeptus Ministorum. Preacher of the Church of St. Dolan, colloquially known as the Slanted Church?
Hess swallowed.
I am.
Speak, so that you may be heard. You are Aaron Hess?
I am.
Raise your head and look at me.
Hess obeyed. He blinked against the focused illumination of candle flames. His vision swam with licking fires and brazen light. before his eyes adjusted to some measure of horrid clarity. The woman spoke to him from the bench of judgment, but, even without the raised podium, she would have towered above the preacher. Legatine Furia of the Order's Militant was a great and terrible vision of the Emperor's wrath made manifest. Ebon black power armor was spiked with decorative finials, her vestments a deep crimson that appeared burgundy red in the gloom. Her face was a horror of burn scars, each wound discolouring her dark skin with patches of ash dust white. And, when she spoke, Hess saw that her teeth were formed of serrated iron.
Aaron Hess, you are accused of blasphemy and heresy against our God Emperor, the Hawk of the Sun, he who sits upon the golden throne of terror and is the master of all humankind. Will you confess? Will you confess and repent? Or will you compound your sin with perjury?
I only... She was starving.
Let the record show that Aaron Hess refused to confess.
No! I'm sorry. I confess. I confess!
Furia's nose wrinkled in hateful contempt.
Then confess.
I invited a sinner into the house of the God Emperor. I gave sanctuary to one who conspired against the Golden Throne. I provided shelter and arms. I confess. I confess.
And who was this sinner? Speak, so that all may hear.
I do not know her name. She was injured. She could barely speak.
Then how did you know her to be a sinner and conspirer?
I knew. It was the day of the food riots. The blow across her forehead. It came from a shock ball, an enforcer's weapon. I knew what she was.
And what was she?
A rioter, a sinner, a blasphemer.
And why did you give this rioter, this sinner, this blasphemer, the sanctuary of Mother Church? Why did you provide her with shelter and arms?
She was wounded. She was injured. There was so much blood.
These are not reasons, Aaron Hess. Why did you help this wretch?
She looked half-starved.
Why did you help her?
I felt sympathy. I felt sorry for her. I confess it.
Sympathy for a rioter, a sinner, a blasphemer.
Yes.
And sympathy too, perhaps, for her cause.
No, I just...
For she was not only a rioter, a sinner, and a blasphemer, was she, Aaron Hess? She was a heretic. A traitor!
No.
No?
No, I mean, yes. I don't know.
You do not know? Is that what you wish to confess? That you do not know? You do not know whether the foul doctrines of unionism, as professed by the so-called movement of emancipation, is heresy?
She was injured. She was starving.
You do not know whether violent insurrection to obstruct the tithes of holy terror is treason?
It is! I know that it is.
Then why did you help her?
I shouldn't have. I sinned. I am a sinner.
Indeed, Aaron Hess. But that is not all you are. You are a blasphemer. A heretic. Do you confess?
I should not have helped her. It was a sin. I repent.
Do you confess?
I confess.
It was blasphemy to bring a traitor into the house of the God Emperor. It was heresy to offer the traitor succor.
Yes.
The heresy of compassion that perverts man from the purer path.
Yes.
For did Saint Catherine the Shield-Bearer not teach us, that the indulgence of sentimentality is akin to the rotting of beasts that wallow in their own filth.
She did.
And do the prime edicts of the Holy Synod of the Adeptus Ministorum not teach us that when the people forget their duty, they are no longer human, and become something less than beasts?
They do.
You forgot your duty, did you not, Aaron Hess?
Yes.
You had compassion for one that was no longer human. One that had become something less than a beast.
Yes.
And, so forgetting your duty, you copulated in the filth beside her.
I forgot my duty. I am a sinner.
You are a heretic.
I am a heretic.
Because, Aaron Hess, you believed her human, didn't you?
Yes.
You did not believe that providing shelter and arms was akin to the rotting of beasts, did you?
I did not.
Thus, you disbelieved the teachings of St. Catherine the Shield-Bearer, and rejected the prime edicts of the Holy Synod of the Adeptus Ministorum.
It is true. I confess.
You are no longer human, are you, Aaron Hess?
Hess sobbed.
You are no longer human, are you?
I am no longer human.
You have become something less than a beast, haven't you?
Yes, it is true.
You have become a heretic.
Yes, I confess. I repent.
The legatine sneered, turning her mutilated face away. Hess bowed his head and wept. The focused heat seared his back. Blood seeped from the iron manacles at his neck, ankles, and wrists. Hisses and jeers rained down on him from every direction, the judgments of his erstwhile peers, each condemnation another nail in the coffin of his soul.
Enough!
Furia roared, and the audience fell silent.
It is time for judgment.
Hess's lip trembled. He forced himself to look at the legatine, quailing beneath her fanatical glare.
Aaron Hess, you have confessed to blasphemy and heresy, and thus stand upon the precipice of eternal damnation. The sermons of Cardinal Benefictor teach us that the heretic and the blasphemer can offer no excuse for their crimes, and that those who are pardoned merely live to further shroud humanity from the light of the Emperor with the darkness of their souls. And yet, Cardinal Christum writes in the Instructum Absolutio that a heretic may see the truth and seek redemption. He may be forgiven his past and will be absolved in death. Do you seek redemption, Aaron Hess?
Hess swallowed, wiping away the veil of tears from his eyes. His words were choked with spittled grief.
Yes.
Louder, Aaron Hess!
Yes! I seek redemption. I seek absolution in death.
The legatine's mouth twitched.
Then we shall endeavor to provide it to you, Aaron Hess. In the name of the Hawk of the Sun, the God Emperor who sits upon the golden throne of terror and is the master of all humankind, I sentence you to penitentia mortis.
She waved a gauntleted hand.
Take him away.
Hess gasped. He tried to say something, anything. But then his jailer wrenched at his collar, and he was dragged, spluttering, into the dark. There was pain. There was fear. There was terrible, soul-crushing guilt. The Penitent screamed. A thorn bush of wires, chemical injectors and pain nodes connected him to his engine of torture, stuck deep into his twitching spine. Agony arced through his body, fizzing from pain regulators implanted into his thalamus, pursued by surging chems that nauseated the Penitent with overwhelming sensations of self-hatred and despair. His arms were spread wide, clamped by brutal chains, giving him the pose of a man crucified, or else a fanatic desperately embracing the possibility of death. The air was clogged with smells. The stinking heat of his own circulatory system, the choking belch fumes of the engine's exhausts, and the sickly incense of the sensors above. Each time he spasmed, the engine's arms shifted, the pilot lights of flamers sparking, and the circular saws spinning in fitful stars. He could not remember his name, but he remembered he was something inhuman, something that had become less than a beast. He hated himself and wanted to die, but most of all, he wanted forgiveness. He wanted to be redeemed for the hideousness of his own excruciating existence. He wanted his skin to melt like wax over the purity seals nailed to his torso, and for his blurred, bloodshot eyes to dribble loose off his burning skull. He wanted to suffer, and for the suffering to end, and for his soul to find salvation. The Penitent screamed. The circular saws revved in sympathy. Above the shudderings of the engine, its guttering exhausts and fizzling movements, he could hear the sisters singing. Their hymnals were not beautiful. Their voices were hoarse, ravaged by battle scars and the unrelenting passage of time. But those gruff voices were strong, and the words carried, exalting the first and final lord of the eternal Imperium. The ground shook. The Penitent blinked. The engine stood in a cargo bay of a shuttle, surrounded by the Sororitas choirs. He screamed. He felt a shudder through his torso as the shuttle landed. The ramp squealed open, and a sliver of light became a roaring tempest of fire. He felt a release, as if he had been draped in heavy chains, and that he was now unburdened by their oppressive weight. He screamed once more, and willed himself forth. The engine responded to the frenzied stuttering of his insane mind. It lurched out in a stomping charge, and delivered the Penitent to the field of redemptive slaughter. He could barely see what awaited him. He could barely comprehend the ashen battlefield, bombed out hillocks collapsing into burning, cratered pits. His eyes were strained and half blind. He frothed at the mouth. The engine brought him to a ragged mob howling obscenities, each individual wearing the Penitent's face. The Penitent screamed in pain and hate. He struggled against the arm clamps, and his aborted twitchings thrust the engine's arms towards his doppelgangers. He screamed with such fury that flame belched from the engine's arms, 2 twin flamers washing the heretics in a devouring inferno. The Penitent heard the shrieks of the dying and recognized his own voice among them, fueling his contempt and disgust to ever greater heights of distorted insanity. The engine brought him closer still, and he flailed about with his fastened arms, circular saws ripping across burning heretics and spraying his face with evaporating blood. He screamed, thrusting the engine's 2 saws into a bloated mutant, chewing up fabric, skin, ribs, and internal organs in his desperation to destroy the creature with his face. He spasmed, ripping the arms apart in a geyser of boiling gore. The engine's movements were a whirling dervish of reddened blades and fiery torrents. He could no longer hear the battle hymns of the sisters, not over the mad cacophony of the saws and the cosmic thunder of the flamers, the banshee wails of the dying and the excruciated howls ripped from his own throat. Chems that drove him to new depths of homicidal psychosis kept him twitching, his tortured body and soul directing the engine to butcher its way through everyone and everything around him. He was vaguely aware that he was screaming words. From his mouth frothed prayers and desperate pleas, begging for a salvation that could only come in the form of catastrophic annihilation. When the heretics with his face ran, the Penitent gave chase, bathing the last dregs in gouts of flame before he fell upon their collapsing bodies with red-toothed saws. He threw about his gaze, the engine shuddering in stuttered movements. He sought others that wore his face. Bloodshot eyes passed over a squad of battle sisters. The overheated meat of his brain fizzed. His straining sanity struggled to process their faces. But then salvation came in the form of a hideous monstrosity, capturing the attention of his fevered mind, and the engine lurched once more into the crucible of war. The Penitent screamed. The enemy was a nightmare of tumorous faces. Faces covering its bloated, stretched out torso. Faces covering its swollen, tentacled limbs. Faces crowding out other faces across its shifting, lopsided head. 1,001 faces, and each one of them his, gibbering and laughing and screaming and sobbing as the mutant spawn slopped and loped across blackened earth. The engine rushed to meet it, flamers vomiting, dousing the mutant in burning promethium and transforming it into a careening fireball of cackling heresy. Some of the faces howled in agony, others shrieked in laughter, but all turned their bloodshot eyes towards the Penitent. Those eyes bulged, weeping, bleeding, burning puffs down charred, pork-crackling cheeks. The 2 behemoths slammed together in a gleeful orgy of unrestrained violence. Tentacles slapped against the engine in a mad frenzy. Melting faces formed grasping suckers, and lacerating teeth from collapsing mouths. Burning spikes thrust from foreheads and snatched at wires and mechanical workings. And, in reply, the circular saws cut through corrupted, burning flesh. They hacked off limbs and carved broiled meat that wriggled and squirmed even as they disintegrated under searing flames. Blood and oil and acid cascaded. Internal, mutated organs slopped from the bubbling abomination. Organs with the Penitent's face. There seemed to be no end of them. The sheer quantity exceeded what was possible from the physical dimensions of the mutant spawn. Either the monster spontaneously birthed new, stillborn horrors from its gaping wounds, or else it acted as a hellish portal to a blasphemous domain of sloshing, human-faced organs. Yet, eventually, the monster ran out of insides to spill. Blackened skin collapsed upon itself, like an umbilical sac emptied of its gestating progeny. Flesh balloons deflated as shredded limbs gave way. The sickening mass squelched and bubbled in crackling flames. The Penitent screamed. A dozen injuries blossomed across his torso, his body half flayed and hideously bruised by fanged, pustulated suckers. The monster with his faces was dead, but there was still more to destroy. There was still more to purge. Still more to banish from the living nightmare that was his existence. His crippled body spasmed. The engine shuddered. Its mechanical insides were clogged with putrid gore, its wires splayed and sparking, the motive force hemorrhaging from within. The Penitent screamed in desperation, and the engine shuddered again, losing its footing. It crashed heavily to the ashen ground. Circular saws carved up dust and charred soil before they stuttered, silent. Auto-loaders failed as promethium canisters dislodged and splashed their contents into the acrid earth. Machine legs twitched. Its torso contorted with the fleeing ghosts of malfunctioned life. The Penitent screamed. He was trapped, nailed to his coffin of spluttering gears, impotent against the enormity of his unredeemed sin. He screamed for his agonies, the lacerations of his body, the broken ribs and the torn away flesh, the burning heat that scalded his skin and fizzed spasms through his brain. He screamed for his soul, overtaken by his self-disgust and his hatred, unredeemed and drowning beneath oceans of fire. But most of all, the Penitent screamed because he still lived, and would live, until the next battle, the next war, in which he might find salvation yet.
Thank you for listening to this video from the Archive Tower. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to the channel.